Lionel, I assure you it's an ancient codex, just like in the tales.
Intriguing. And why would such a thing be revealed to a child of dust?
And here I was beginning to think that you'd never show up. This is Lionel, lore master of the House of Ballads. Give the codex over to him, and he may have your answers. I'm a woman of many talents, and we're all taught that we must use our talents for the greatest good, right? The Codex of Fate is no simple lore stone. It's more subtle and complex than any mortal could comprehend. But a lore master of ballads may be able to interpret it. We are the charmed, the subtle, and the inspired. In happier days, we were the loftiest of the mortal races. We despise open war. But for decades, the Tuatha have been at war with us, pushing into our lands and forcing us to take up arms. For a long time, they were content to keep to their play of the summer and winter courts. Now we fight Gadflow and the Tuatha for our very existence. A close friend once told me, strive to be whatever you want to be. Fate might be a lie, but if it isn't, then worrying about it won't change a thing. The Fae do not have a written language, so their tales are their lifeblood, their history, and their future all in one. The House of Ballads is where they enshrine these legends and celebrate them time and again. Lionel's one of the greatest balladeers amongst the Fae, and the most learned lore master you'll find outside of Issa. And as it happens, he owes me a favor. The Summer Court, or the Seelie Fae if you prefer, embody the growth and energy of nature, but they can still be as aloof and uncaring as a brutal summer day. The current High King of the Fae is Titarian, the wisest of the Summer Court. While Gadflow has undermined the Winter Court, he tries to keep their cycle in balance. You haven't been around much, have you? The Tuatha have been pressing west from their home in Alabastra. Right now, they're only threatening my people. But if we fall, the Tuatha will turn their eyes to the other mortal races. Titarian isn't quite what you'd expect from the High King of Summer, but he hasn't got the arrogance of his cousins, or their cheer. Ever since Gadflow killed the High King of Winter and started the war, Titarian has become distant and melancholy, and blind to the dangers around him. The Tuatha are a radical sect of Fae within the Winter Court, led by Gadflow and his insane rants about their new god. They've taken power and declared war on mortals. They use raw prismia to enhance their power, and their devotion borders on madness. But the most terrifying thing to the Fae is simply the fact that their siblings have changed so completely. The Winter Court, or the Unseelie, embrace the destruction and decay of nature. They aren't evil, but they aren't exactly the best of friends. Normally they share power peacefully with the Summer Court. But since the Tuatha have seized power, there is neither peace nor predictability. Lore Master Lionel has devoted centuries to the study of lore and ancient Fae stories. The codex he found isn't just any lore stone. Just talk to him, and I'm sure he'll be able to shed some light on the issue. Be on your way.
You must be Lady Shear's friend. She speaks very highly of you. An occasion rare enough to be worth recording in its own right. But let's see this codex. Oh, nothing. This is no mere lore stone, you know. The Codex of Destiny is distilled knowledge from the High King of the Fae, given to the first Fate Weavers. To have such knowledge in your hands is a tremendous gift. But why did it reveal itself to you? Nonsense. All children of dust have a story that is written before you see your first dawn. Now, I can only make out some parts, but this is odd. The Codex speaks of an exception, a void, an end to the endless. This is simply too much. The High King would never pawn such absurdity off as wisdom. I'm sure you think it is. I fear you must have been taken in by a forgery. A perfectly created one, perhaps, but a forgery nonetheless. This codex speaks of impossible things, changes to fate, death of the immortals, and other heresies. To ascribe these lies to the High King would be... I'm sorry, but I must ask you to take it away. I will have no part in these lies. Is there a meaning to it? Only its author could tell you. All of us in the Western Feylands are subjects of High King Tatarian. Our presence maintains the natural balance, bringing the green of spring at winter's end. We are the story that is told in every age, with different words, but the same meanings. We are the blazing summer and the brooding winter, forever following one another. We are, as we have always been and shall ever be, no more and no less. He is an offense to our people. He upsets the natural order, and his war breaks the cycle. I will speak no more of him. As antiquarian, I'm keenly aware of the lesser ballads in Fey telling, and do my best to ensure that they're not lost in the wide river of time. I'm keeper of the Echo Stone here in the House of Ballads. It has only come to us recently, but I find its purpose most fascinating. It is a new relic crafted by several of our most attuned Fey mages. Usually the notion of new repels me, but in this case, I can't help but feel a spark of curiosity. The Echo Stone can be used like a lore stone to experience past narratives, stories that have long since left the lips of their tellers. However, one can only use the Echo Stone if he has the right matching cairn, a magical key devised by Hallam the White himself. The role of the storyteller is the most important to the Fae in the Court of Summer. He watches the telling as it unfolds. His gaze is not on one ballad, but all of them. His wisdom is above us all, even the lords and ladies of the House of Ballads. The High King guides us in all the grand telling of the Fae. For you, tales are naught but a reminder of your inevitable decline. But for the Fae, our tales are eternal reminders of our truest selves. Here we celebrate the very heart of our kind. The greatest of our tales, reborn and relived. Every creature has its story. The wake it leaves behind in its travel. That is a telling. It is a narrative of defeats and victories that give every life meaning. Our Fae telling goes on from creation deep into the hidden end. Until then, we celebrate the small songs, the ones that celebrate the spring in which we find ourselves. Do not bother me with such foolishness.
Lionel spends his life cherishing old stories, but show him something truly new, and he dismisses it. Tragic. First of all, we ignore this fool. Most Fae aren't comfortable with change, and you are certainly something new. I'm afraid that only one person will really be able to help us with the Codex. The High King himself. Tatarian isn't like other Fae. I'm sure he'd be interested in you, even if you didn't have that codex. The only problem will be meeting him. His court is in the city of Isa, and few mortals are permitted to enter its gardens. I do know one individual who can allow you to enter, but you'll have to meet him alone. Nirelem is a private person, and he carries a grudge against me, although perhaps person isn't the right word for him, nor is him. You'll find him in southeast Dalantoth, at Caer Nirelem. Just head towards the giant tree, and, well, you'll see. You'll have to meet him on your own. I'd accompany you, but Nirelem and I have our disagreements. That codex isn't just a complicated lore stone. It seems to tell a tale most Fae don't want to hear, and created by High King Tatarian himself, no less. Interesting. None of us could have foreseen the rise of Gadflow and his army, but we should have, and now we're all facing the price. That old coward. He may have lived 100 heroic lives, but he's lost the moment he faces something truly new. Pathetic. Neralem is the oldest living mortal. He remembers the time before even the Fae called these lands home. You should see how they cherish him. He rarely grants an audience to visitors. His tenders say he knows the future as well as the past. It makes him very particular about what he says. We've known for a long time that Prismere crystals allow us to store and focus magical power. The gnomes use it in their grander inventions, when they can get it. But we have no idea how Gadflow got a hold of so much of it. It makes his Tuatha the most dangerous army I've ever seen. Good luck with Neralem, and ignore anything he said about.
The hero... I am relieved to see you well. What is happening? First Sagrel, and now Bloody Bones. These are shocking developments. Listen, Hallam and I have been discussing what transpired in Uduath. You are needed for a very special quest, a song of your very own. You must travel to the home of Tenwa, also known as the Librarian. It is an important journey, not without its perils. I know little about the Librarian. Only that she and Hallam have spent many seasons studying the ebbing tides of magic and how best to preserve our ballads. She is an odd creature, quite aloof and reclusive. From what I've heard, she enjoys the scholarly arts of men with all their brittle, ink-stained quirks. Do not rouse your mortal worry for Hallam. He has left the court seeking answers to our many questions. He will return in time. If someone is corrupting the songs of this great house, Hallam will find them. He is the storyteller, and he knows our ballads better than anyone. Go to Tenwa's cottage in Haxi. She will be waiting for you. Retrieve a ballad from her collection of Fae cairns. It is called The Hero and the Maid. Bring it to me, and guard it with your life. Its worth cannot be measured. The library is a collection of special lore stone called cairns, in which are kept the greatest of summer court ballads. As long as they are safe, so too are our songs. The library was not Lord Issa's idea, but the inspiration of Hallam the White. He created the cairns and cast the spell that protects them. The world is changing. Everyone knows it, even if some choose not to accept it. Even as summer court magic weakens, our library of lore will remain strong. I do not speak of magic with a knowing tongue, but I do know that the persistence of Fae songs is eternally linked to the enchanted lore stones in which they exist. When mortals began to use magic to create, change, and even destroy their own lore stones, it was decided that the ballads of the Summer Court needed better protection. The cairns are a new kind of lore stone, Hallam's way of keeping outside influence from affecting our stories, from corrupting them as the days pass and seasons transpire. Her cottage stands in the gap between Yolvan and Haxi, southeast of here. It is an isolated spot, safe. Tenwa is expecting you.
Garner, all I know is I need to close. I'd be happy to fix up old Gossamer End for you. It will be ready in no time. Let me know if you want any further expansion. Well, it sure would be useful to have an The alchemy workbench should come. The main floor has been expanded as much. You'll be amazed when you see that. Well, I'll have to watch out for the riverbed, but I can add on a basement for some gold. I'll go ahead and set up the basement with some plants and reagents. If you're interested in more storage space, I can expand. Be careful when you go in there. Somehow I can do one last expansion of the basement. This'll be the last upgrade I can give you. I hope you like everything I've done. Keep safe.
Welcome. Do come in. You must forgive my lack of hospitality. The Maid of Windermere and her minions have left me in a bit of a situation. Creth and Airmer could offer no remedy, but perhaps your mortal ingenuity will prevail where others have failed. The Great Collection was commissioned by Lord Issa himself, but it was Hallam the White who championed its creation and who crafted the Fey Cairns. As long as the library and its many cairns remain, the songs of summer will have a place in this world, being sung again and again for an eternity. Surely you know the songs of Sir Creth and Sir Airmer, faithful friends and knight hands who recovered the Sword of Ryderk. Ah, but it's likely you know them from Two Knights and a Troll. That is certainly their most popular ballad. They were here only moments ago, and I sent them after the villain who did this. My hopes for rescue go with them. It is a form of magic new to our kind, a creation of our own Hallam the White. It is what he and I have been doing here in the library these past few seasons. Lore stones have become a common magic among the young races. They are readily made, changed, and defiled. We Fae need a new currency of telling, a new way. The Echo Stone and the Fey Cairns are the latest in a series of experiments, as Hallam and I seek a way to protect and perpetuate our greatest songs. They were designed by Father Atair, a mortal, and I worked with Hallam the White to fashion the enchanted cairn shell itself. Quite a discovery they are. It took more than a season to conceive of, and then create the first working cairn, but it has been worth all my efforts. Our songs of summer are safe, for now. She is the Witch Magware, sworn enemy of our great house and Enchantress Supreme. She will do anything within her power to win the love of our brave King Wenson. As it is now, and as it has always been, she preys upon the wild and stupid to reach her goals. But something is different this time. She is growing ambitious. I am Tenwa, formerly a knight of the House of Ballads. Many seasons ago, I was asked to give up my post and come here to work on the Fey Cairns. Hallam has trusted me with protecting the catalogue of legendary summer feats. I guarantee that every song is sung as it should be. The maid paid me a visit this past evening. She and her accomplice, Nyx the Troll, stole my most prized cairns. All that work, and for what? With what I know, I should have expected an attack. Even this imprisonment spell. It is the same she used in the Ballad of Two Knights and a Troll. I can't recall the counterspell, of course, as that cairn was stolen. You must get them back, mortal. All of them. Especially the one you came for. It is a tale of what happens when one wishes to become something he has not. In this case, the subject of the song was Nyx the Troll, a loathsome, pitiful brute. As a jest, the Maid of Windermere enchanted Nyx into believing he was an ordinary man. He attempted to settle in a quaint mortal village to predictable disaster. When the knights Creth and Amalur arrived, they treated him like the man he longed to be. They challenged Nyx to a gentlemanly duel and slew him in fair combat. As in his ballad, Nyx ran when he saw Creth and Amalur arrive. He is clearly under the maid's curse and may be doing her bidding. He ransacked the cottage and made off into the night, his gigantic arm piled high with fey cairns. My fey cairns. Her nearest lair is Sunder Caverns, where her minion Nyx makes his home. It is a craggy pit in Haxie, east. See you soon.
You there? Did the Wolfsworn send you? It's about damn time. I've been rotting in this forest for near a week, and Jory's dead. The trolls are much worse than we thought. We thought rock trolls were bad enough, but these are mountain trolls, twice as strong and very ill-tempered. We came through training together. No one could outdrink Jory. One time, I remember he actually managed to... You know what? It doesn't matter. Bastard's dead. Hell of a time we had, though. He was one of the good uns. Foul brutes. Unbelievably strong. Twice as strong as everyday rock trolls. And now they've come to Haxie. When you come across any, try to get in close. The belly is where they're tender. Slip a blade or two in there and they won't be on their feet for long. Sworn to war we are. Swords for hire. Not a bad way to make a living if you know which end of a blade to hold. Oh, excellent.
Look, we meant to take care of this situation, but things got out of my control. One of the mountain trolls killed Jury. Anyhow, I'm glad someone arrived at last. The mountain trolls must be stopped. The one that got Jury is still at the camp we made out here. If you can take care of this, I'll be able to retrieve Jury's belongings from the camp. I promise you what's left of his sword as reward. All of them. I think there are 5 wandering the surface, including one at our makeshift camp. The contract was to clear the forest. Do that and I'll be able to return home with honor. Try not to die.
As you take, so are you taken. Hold me in your love, and I hold you in my own. Borrow me, and I will borrow you. Of kind, a kind of kindness, and forever a chill to comfort the warm.
I'm afraid you've caught me at a bad time, friend. The famed hospitality of the gnomes may be missing today. You see, I am in distress. I lent my journal to a fellow surveyor to record information from the Split Rock depths. His name is Horace Despero. He ventured into the caves but never returned. No. I am worried about him, and I must admit, my journal as well. It may sound selfish, but the journals we surveyors keep are very important to our work. If possible, I need to find out what became of my friend. And the journal too. I'm a surveyor from a mining company from the east. The journal contains all the data I've gathered from my exploration of the area. I lent it to Horace so that he could add data he gathered from Split Rock depths. Since he hasn't returned, I'm worried something terrible might have happened down there. If you can find out what happened, I would like to know. It should be somewhere in Split Rock depths. As I said, Horace may be trapped down there also. Please, a fellow surveyor from the mining company back east. He went into Split Rock depths with my journal to record new finds. I've heard tales of a malevolent spirit that was trapped within the cavern decades ago. Those who venture in are said never to be seen again. I'm with an outfit known as Motus Mining. We mostly operate out of Detir, but I'm in Dalentarth surveying the forest for new loads to work. Motus is a large gnomish mining company to the east. It profits by selling the resources that it mines. Surveyors like me, who work for Motus, go out into the field and record any pertinent data they find. Most often, you'll find we're a great source of help and advice in just about any area, from irrigation techniques to healing. The gnomes are some of the brightest, most creative minds around. Wherever there's a problem, we'll find the solution. We give so much, and ask for so little in return. Until later, then. Yes? My journal! Oh, I trust this wasn't too difficult to obtain. What of Horace? A shame that. Thank you for being brave enough to retrieve this, in spite of what happened to Horace. As we agreed, here is some gold for your trouble. I appreciate your help. Terrible, terrible what happened to him. I will remember Horace Despero as the bravest gnome I ever had the pleasure to meet. He was one fine, dedicated worker. You don't find that sort of ethic much anymore.
For some time. Enodon keeps you strong, but I am stronger. Delph and Ugnar will perish. 2 lives for 1. It is the blood right, and I will be free of it at last. Give me Delph's dagger, and you may find mercy in Enodon. True, but I know him, and he will not rest until one of us is satisfied the blood right. 2 must die, so 1 will live. I intend to be the one to live. Excellent. Enodon's justice will be done.
Well, well. You truly fit Hallam's description. It's nice to finally gaze upon the new Sagril. I am Sir Airmer. This is my companion, Sir Creth. Ah. Welcome to Sunder Caverns. If you've come in search of the Maid of Windermere, I must disappoint you. She's nowhere to be found. You too? Well, I managed to find one, but there are plenty more. The maid had them. She was here one moment, but gone the next, as is her way. She did leave behind her old ally, Nyx the Troll, to give us a bit of trouble and slow our pursuit. Creth and I have fought Nyx more times than I dare count. You could say he's an old friend. If you're interested in joining our little hunting party, feel free. I loathe trolls. Disgusting! Your wits about you. Stay close. Stay close. That wasn't so terrible now, was it? Still, I'm baffled as to why Nyx was outside Sunder Caverns. It was surely not to play his part in the coming ballad. There's more going on here than Creth and I are party to, and I want to know what. We'll speak again back at the House of Ballads. And Sagrel, thank you. These are times of change, and we all must be on our guard. Oh, you wish to know about the storyteller? Ha! Not even I know the ballads of Hallam the White. His telling is the most secret of all, and he's worked hard to keep it so. Well, that being said, I have complete trust in his judgment, even about you. I am Sir Aylmer at your service. My oath-bond brother and knight-hand Creth and I were the knights who returned the flaming sword of Ryderk. I believe that there is no higher calling than the House of Ballads. We are all that stands between glory and complete anonymity. He is my shadow, always there when I need him, and his courage never falters. We are one. When ballads call for Sir Aylmer, Sir Creth will be close behind. It was the fabled blade used to beat back the Balgan during an incursion many seasons ago. Creth and I still argue over which of us the blade truly belonged to. Goodbye.
Well done, friend. Well done indeed. I know in time the trolls will return, but at least now I can make it back to Shieldring Keep with my head held high. Here, take this. It was Jory's sword. Broken now, but she might be mighty again if a skilled smith wants to make her so. It's what Jory would have wanted. I was unable to complete the contract, but since you have, you best get your own eye back to Shieldring Keep and turn it in. Off with you then. Later then.
So, the Savior comes for Cartery. What do you want? Just a retired mercenary that got stuck in a one-coin town. Men like that don't make or break a defense. Why are you wanting to know about him? I don't go asking you about yourself. You could return the favor. A story for children. There's not much more to it than that. Do you go talking to all strangers, asking about their lives and who they are? Leave me alone. That's what I'm called, and that's all you'll be getting out of me. Nasty place. I'd get as far away from it as I could. You did? I must have left it behind when I was fleeing those spiders. The damn things were everywhere. I can see you're not convinced, so that toff brat sent you to do a little digging. It was only a matter of time before she learned what I did to her parents. But you found out first. A stroke of luck. Now, let's come to an arrangement, shall we? Say, a heavy purse for your silence? I didn't desert the war only to return 10 years later. I'm never going back to Melsenshire, and Carowin wasn't about to make me. What, you think I had a choice? You can understand what the war means to our people. Even Webwood is more appealing. I thank the gods for the simple life on that farm, and she tried to take that from me. Really, the wandering hero is going to bring me to justice? I think not. I've murdered twice before, and you shall be my third. Finally.
I can't believe Carteret killed them. My mother and father had been his friends for years, before I was even born. To think that he did all this just to avoid the war. I knew my family was likely dead, but I thought it wouldn't be over something like this. Thank you for your help. Here is your reward, as promised. I don't know him personally, but it seems few do. I've seen him in a fight, however, and there's much we can learn from him. Safe journey. Damn these spiders. Damn this wood. I've had it with being cooped up in this town. I can't believe, after knowing my family all this time, he killed them. That monster. At least he got his. I've lost the stomach for these woods. Just when you thought the people in town were all you could trust. But Carteret's gone. I have to remember that. Farewell.
Oh, excellent. But you've returned without the most important cairn of all. Troubling. But this is a challenge for later. For now, you must break this cursed spell. As you've no doubt noticed, those cairns are warded and will not reveal their secrets. They will, however, last an eternity. Perhaps even longer. I knew they would find Nyx. After all, it is their telling to deal with his maddening ways, even if that means slaying him time after time. Those cairns are like lore stones, but special. They're enchanted, and the only way to unlock their contents is to use the Echo Stone. The one in the next room is one of Hallam's early attempts, but it should work. Go listen to Two Knights and a Troll. Find the words that will free me from this prison. It is a magical shrine, specially created to hold the most glorious of Fae songs through tragedy and time. There is one in the other room. See you soon.
May the stone sing your song to the ages. May the breath of time remember you. Listen. Listen as the Echo Stone etches each ballad in memory. Hail, we sing of Meropis, last of the water-borne isles now gone. Hail, we sing Meropis, majesty our mantle and courage our sign. Hail, we sing Meropis, death to Ferrara, who wore but lies upon him. Death to the betrayer, whose lust beheld our glory. Death to he who took our beloved treasures and hid them from our eyes. May the treasures of Meropis outlast them. When mountains fall and seas rise up, when all the courts have fallen. May the stone sing your song to the story of two valiant souls I bring. Of the lords named Aermer and Creth I sing. Two hearts united against common foes. The thoughts of one in mind, the other knows. Lord Creth of knights, most stoic and grave, Lord Aylmer's hand and shadow the brave, and gentle Aylmer his equal in might, dawn to Creth's dusk, day to his night. Here is the tale of how they stopped a troll. The Maid of Windermere corrupted its soul. The troll named Nyx had a most troubled heart. In nature was it displeased with its part. It hated its difference from the norm, and wished to shed its current form. In grief it went to the Maid of Windermere. She motioned to Nyx and beckoned him near. "It is your wish to be human, I see," she whispered to the troll in glee. "I shall grant your wish and make you so. You are a human now," she cackled. "Go." And so the troll named Nyx to town it came, never suspecting it was still the same. It crushed the road and split the wall, and Creth and Aylmer were sure to fall. They faced the troll and fought to no avail. The wise knights knew what was wrong in our tale. The treacherous Maid of Windermere at play. We know in part what is wrong with this fay. And so Lord Aylmer shouted to Lord Creth, challenged this troll to a duel to the death. The troll still under the wicked maid's spell, and was human, it thought, and all was well. Rampaged throughout the countryside in joy, treating all as toys. Lord Aylmer slowly approached him and said, "If you are human, deal as such instead. Face us, if that is your fate. Duel us, and reveal the truth of your state." Then the troll and fae did battle and fought. Alas, all was not as the troll had thought. After he had won, Lord Creth said to Nyx, with a mind to ease and a will to fix, "You are a troll, and that is good, my friend. You have no faults, no wrong to mend. But if it be your wish to join their kind, a better way you must find. There is naught wrong with following your will, as long as it does not bring others ill." Again the heroes of honor stayed true. The story of a troll, and the knights too.
Did you discover the words to the counterspell? Please do hurry. Are you ready to speak the counterspell?
That's it, that's it.
Hear me, and don't forget a word. What Hallam feared is coming to pass. Somehow, using a new and twisted magic, the Maid of Windermere hopes to alter the telling. At this moment, she possesses the single most important song in our canon, the hero and the maid. If its story changes, we are all at risk. You must warn the House of Ballads. Time is running out for all of us. It is a tale of what happens when one wishes to become something he has not. In this case, the subject of the song was as a jet. When the knights Creth and Aylmer arrived, the great collection was commissioned by Lord East. As long as the library and its many cairns remain, it is a form of magic. The Echo Stone and the Fae cairns are the latest in a series of experiments. Go find Wenson and Hallam. It may already be too late.
See you soon.
day. How can I help you? Farewell, my friend.
You may search the Empire 10 times over, but you will not find your beloved Wenson, nor his foolish court of enchantments. They, like you, are mine. Dream of me, lovely, for we shall be together soon. The time is coming.
Yes, how may I be?
Good. You are well. The same cannot be said of the king, nor of the court of enchantments. In my absence, the maid has taken them all. Tenwa says that the greatest of ballads, the hero and the maid, was not recovered. This song above all the others must be found. You have acted as our agent thus far, Sagril. Do you continue to stand by us? With all our heroes gone, you may very well be our last light in the darkness. In that ballad, King Wenson defeats the Maid of Windermere once and for all. He confesses his love to trick her into an embrace. It is close enough for him to strike. If the maid is truly altering our ballads towards more favorable outcomes for her and her minions, then she could rewrite her own demise. She could avoid it altogether. You are no stranger to death, so you must have felt it. The fall of all magic. I have foreseen it for seasons. And as I am not one to stand by, I chose to act. With a small group of dedicated individuals, fey and mortal alike, I set about preparing a way for the great songs of the Summer Court to find permanence. The cairns are the result of this effort. They are magic, but magic that will not fade. I knew I could count on you. In the face of uncertainty, your loyalty has proven steadfast. It is no use for us to combat the Maid of Windermere when we do not understand her new magic. There is only one man I know who might shed light on our ignorance. His name is Father Eter. He is a monk and an alchemist, and a trusted friend. Eter may have the answers we seek. I have known Eter for 40 seasons. He believes in his god's order, and I have learned to respect his beliefs. Aside from being a follower of Mitharu, Eter is the most skilled alchemist I have ever known. His wise gaze peers even deeper into the mysteries of life than mine. The creation of a new form of magic, a permanent magic, was a necessity for our kind. The rise of the mortal races coincides with our decline. Lore stones are a faulty method of remembrance. one that can be changed, destroyed. But the Kerns, they are invulnerable to harm. They are forever. It is the foundation of our great inheritance, the canon of stories celebrated by all the Summer Fae. In it begins our timeless struggle with the Maid of Windermere. Driven mad by her love for King Wenson, the maid finally ensnares him with a spell of longing and retreats to her castle. There she waits to consummate the union. All is not lost. Wenson fights the enchantment, inspired by his ardor for Belmaid, his true beloved. Taking the maid in his embrace, he slays her once and for all. Father Itar watches over a small Almain mission in the southeast, St. Edric's. You will know it by the runes on the hill. Go. Find it here.
My. Is Starcamp being visited by a goddess? Are they all as beautiful as you? Maybe I should slap on a habit and join the mission down the road. You're in Starcamp, home of the Traveller's Dove. Now, I don't suppose you came here by accident. Ask Dove, asked to join our number. Well, I've seen fist-sized rubies, living people made of vines, and I've even seen a Jotun cry. But this is a first. Why join? The Travellers are renowned rogues, thieves, and all-around good folk. If you live in the shadows, away from the law, we're for you. You want riches? We'll help you take them. You want fame? They'll sing songs of you forever. Want adventure? Look no further. I thought by the look of you that you might. I have a good feeling about you, but some feelings count less around here than they should. I'll send you to the camp's leader, Krilgarin. She'll get you on your way.
Greetings. For your coin, I can help you improve your stealth and hide where the shadows well. I have spent my years in Dalentarth learning to imitate where the shadows well.
Trading done here. Always open for business when the road... This is your marketplace. Always looking to make a bit of coin.
Need an answer? Now come, fellow traveller. Ain't much like a bit of gossip. May the ground be soft, and your steps silent.
Aye? You have come. The dust of the road rises to meet you, Wanderer. Welcome to Star Camp. I am Kilgaren. I am unfamiliar with the title the Knave of Coins. But as I understand, it grants me responsibility for this camp and its travelers. I know the lands and shadows and winding paths the travelers use. I heed no law or creed of property. For that, I am given leadership. When others feared to even speak to Fae, Grim came and introduced me to the travelers. Ever since, a more stalwart ally I cannot think of. This place has been walked by many, and this copse was hollowed ground once. We maintain it. You are young among our number. I would not color your perceptions of the Hierophant with my own. We are many things, but what the travelers are to most are thieves. We follow our own way. Then Grim has appraised you and found you of worth. But there is another you must appease, our guide, the anonymous Hierophant. Go to the Hierophant shrine in our camp and pray, as all travelers must. We have many freedoms and one chain. A traveler lives by his or her hands and guile. You must do the same. Trader Hayden sells items to supplement these skills if you need. Travelers have clever hands, but they are useless without the Hierophant, whose eyes guide us, a gift upon which we've come to rely. To receive the Hierophant's visions, we are commanded to pray at their shrines, and there are many who readily comply. May the wind be at your back.
Willing to bet some coin?
What prays before me? An eddy in the river of fate, a cacophony in the song of Amalur. Your presence is unnerving. But you have come and prayed, and honored our creeds. You wish to make yourself a traveler? Then ask me for my portents. For true trust, for true compliance, the Hierophant must have no weakness, nor fault, nor lapse. In other words, the Hierophant must be no one. The price to admit you is great. It will take 3 treasures to balance the burden. First, there is a noble Elfwig Grilrakas staying in Dyden Hill. Steal his medallion. Then, in the nearby mission, claim the pall of the dead St. Edric's. The last are Drog's toothpicks. We have contacted their owner, Gunnar Frode, to buy the items, but you will steal them instead. It is the rather valuable bauble of an old noble family. Rather mundane, but worth much coin to us. The daggers used by the fabled Jotun Warmaster Draug, though they were not his weapons, as the name suggests. It is the burial shroud of St. Edric. There are many collectors of relics who hunger for these artifacts, and pay dearly for them. Yes, some final warnings. Elfwig Grilrakas is a fastidious man. He will not suffer an approach he can see. The pall of Edric lies in his tomb, which is under many eyes. Wait until none are near before you claim it. And last, Gunnerfrode is shifty. He will not have the daggers on him or near him. Be warned.
Hello, child. Welcome to St. Edric's. You're here to meet with Father Ater, yes? The Father's always playing host to interesting individuals such as yourself. His quarters are on the second floor of the mission bunkhouse. Most of his days are spent inside working on his research. I don't understand a word of it. 5 years in the swamps of Cluricon was enough to rid me of my lust for war. I was an impetuous youth, raised by the back of my father's right hand. But I found home here with the others. All we seek is a sliver of peace in this vast world. I know only what I've seen from this hill. The Fae are a wild race, inspired by the intimacy with the natural world. We at the mission marvel at this relationship. Occasionally Father Ater would play host to a visiting summer court Fae, but I know nothing of the meetings, except that many of the brothers frowned upon them. I'll admit that the eastern lands are beautiful in their own way. Like Dalentarth, the forests and swamps are ruled by Fae folk, but a far more sinister variety. Cluricon should be seen, but I advise that you wait until after the war passes before you pay your ship's passage. It dried up several months ago, so we sent several brothers down to try and find some deeper reserves. Father Ater had great interest in Mitharu's natural splendors. He volunteered to lead the project, with Wolf by his side, of course. The Authority is the one true father to all humankind. It is by his grace and order that we are able to survive the trials of this world. He tests us in all that we do. Our goal, as set forth by St. Edric, is to find the order in nature, in every blade of grass and curling leaf. For these designs are the Authority's most beguiling. This mission was established 20 years ago. The gardens and fauna pens were Father Ater's idea. He marveled at Mitharu's gifts, the magic in the world around us. No, I knew that they were arguing, but I never imagined that it would lead to murder. It's enough to make a man question his faith. Father Ater and his apprentice brother Wolf, they were inseparable. Like a true father and son. It was a shared love of alchemy that brought them together. But since their work repairing the village well, they've been acting tense, even hostile. Just this morning I saw Ater fetching water. But now he's gone. Mitharu save us all. You're free to search the bunkhouse. Please, if you can shed any light on this tragedy, we'll do all we can to assist you. In another life, Wolf was a butcher in Gallifore. He's a naive sort, and his gifts do not lie in prayer. But Father Eter believed that Wolf had been called. Bless you, child.
Mitharu. Oh, how I pray my ears deceive me then. So it is true. The doubt in the back of my mind that was clawing its way forward is now here upon me. Thank you. Now I won't have to wonder any longer. Go in peace, child, and leave me to my prayers. I came to St. Edric's to find peace. Peace and a place to study. It's quite scenic, and nature's beauty has always helped me think better. Puts my mind at ease. They are a system of caves running through Haxi, said to have a hidden exit that holds a treasure on its cliff, if it can be found, that is. So much of the world around us is made of things we can look at, but never see. St. Edric's wants to show us a way to see those things, the meanings in them that go far deeper than their facade. From what I hear, it may be home to some of the best thieves around. I am probably not the most worldly man, but I know enough to be on alert when I pass their camp. Good day. stay back. I don't know who you are or how you found me, but you will not have the crystals. They are mine. Don't make me kill another. That was my name, yes. But it means nothing now. Not after everything I've seen, everything I've done. I am a cursed soul now. Mitharu has chewed me up and spit me out. They radiate a strange, wild magic. A force that can cause change, or even destruction. The witch wishes to use the crystals to corrupt other types of magic. I lost my true father in the mines of Apatir. In many ways, Ater took his place. Taught me to respect hard work, discipline, the blessing of order in a chaotic world. I had no choice. He was trying to destroy the crystals. He didn't understand that we'd been chosen, that the crystals wanted us to possess them. The strange woman was right. She knew the crystal's power. That's why she wanted them, but we told her nothing. When she left, Father dropped the crystals back into the well, but they sang to me, told me to kill him and rescue them. Their voices, so beautiful. She was a fae, quite beautiful. Called herself the Maid of Windermere. Father Ater was suspicious of her kindness and threw the crystals down the well. It was his idea to lie when the maid asked him about the crystal's properties, its strength. Endless questions, but he told her nothing. I haven't found it yet. I was searching the well tunnels when I was attacked by kobolds. Nasty things. Father Ater did something to the crystal. Hid it by way of magic. A priest using magic. Unforgivable. The crystals give off a glorious music. Can you not hear? It speaks to me. I've spent hours playing my whistle and watching the crystals shimmer with joy. Father Ater believed that the magic within the crystals responded to the tones and rhythms of song, almost as if they were a living thing. Oh, Father Ater, what have I done? I never meant anyone harm, especially not the Father. Please, you must help me destroy the crystals, stop the corruption. My whistle may help you find them. I use it to speak to the crystals, sing to them. I am not a bad man, just a weak one. I will pay for this sin for the rest of my life, however long I wish that to be. Get out of here.
it to Hallam the White and his pet to expose my plans. You will regret ever joining the House of Ballads. You will have to try better than that, beloved. I keep secrets for a reason. I wanted the mission's crystals, but the mortal and his boy would not cooperate. But I always find a way to get what I desire. Don't we all? I am known as the Maid of Windermere, but that is all you shall learn this day. Winston is with me, and he will stay with me until I deem it fit to return him. If the House of Ballads wishes to have its king, it must send its greatest warrior. Since I have all of them, that leaves you. Come, I wish to collect you as well. I will be waiting.
This is not just about the court anymore. You have roused the maid's interest, and it is clear she wishes to add you to her collection. We must do as she commands, but we will be prudent in how we proceed. This ballad, The Champion, is one to be undertaken with great caution. So, Sagril, are you ready to make the preparations and depart? Now is the time. I cannot foresee the outcome of these events, Sagril. This version of the telling has never been told. I can hardly bear to think of what is coming. You must do all you can to preserve the House of Ballads, even as the maid tempts you with her promises of freedom. We have a responsibility to what has come before. She covets King Wenson and always has, by taking the whole court of enchantments. She is sending a strong message. Revenge is now what she desires most. There is more. There is you. The maid is a curious sort, one whose interest is easily aroused. Your presence has altered the telling, and she wishes to learn why. It is a tragic ballad of a knight who entered the maid's kingdom, only to fall prey to her enchantments. His name was Sir Elswin, and he had the best of intentions. Elswin gloriously overcame Windermere's defenses, but it was on the edge of the Weeping Gorge that the maid came to him and clouded his thoughts. Now he stands forever as the maid's lone champion, defender at the gates. All who wish to enter the kingdom of Windermere must go through him. Then it is time. You are the last knight of the House of Ballads. You represent all that we've been through, all that we are, in this telling and all those to come. There is little you can do to prepare for the journey ahead, but take another resurrection potion like the one you used to save Ferrara. You may need it. This is all I can offer you. The rest of the story is yours to tell. One can always find what is sought if the desire is strong enough. Venture northeast of the House of Ballads, and you will find your way. You